Check, 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 check. Hello. Hello there. How you doing? My name is Michael, and I have thoughts about things. And I'm here to distract you. Where's the camera at? I'm here for a distraction. Today's distraction, right? We're going to talk about channeling. Channeling and passion. Today's distraction. Channeling and passion. What does it mean to be passionate about something? Do you have to appear to be mad and crazy and angry? Or can you be calm and peaceful and passionate at the same time? Like, what is passion? Is wild, abandoned, crazy, adventurous, risk-taking? Like, what does it mean to be passionate? And how do you share that with the world? Or do you even share it at all? And then, what is channeling, right? You're like, what are you tapping into? Do you have to focus on something specific and then tap into that thing and channel it? In what way? Take a deep breath. Good day to you all. Do you need to yell at people? Sometimes it takes yelling at people for them to change, Are you, what is that passion? What drives that passion? Are you passionate? One thing I learned by being observant is that people react to passion. People react to I can't think of another word, but flamboyancy, dramatics. I don't know what flamboyant. No, dramatic things, whether it be good or bad, or it just people love drama. What the fuck? If you're over there all quiet and peaceful, I think that does attract a certain, a group of people, or maybe seeking some kind of peace in someone else. I don't know. I think that does attract a certain group of people. But if you want to get everyone's attention, it seems like you have to be, shocking, And so, this is my story of that in my life. I was quiet. I didn't talk much to people. I kind of kept to myself. When I did open my mouth, people were kind of like, what is he talking about? It's crazy stuff. But now everybody's talking crazy stuff. And I'm like, oh, I'm not the only one. So I went to this festival in 2015, I think it was. 14 or 15. It was called Yellow Vortex. And it was in the Mojave Desert, I do believe. It was somewhere in California, Southern California. And it was 5 days long. And I was sitting in a geodesic dome with all these people, and we were painting, and there's dogs and kids and people and paint and tea and all kinds of music and drums, and it was fun. The stars. But a lot of people ask me the same question. Where do you come up with your ideas from? How do you get ideas to paint? How do you do that? And I was like, I should write a book about that. A little book. Just I always liked those little zines. People would make those little tiny books and stuff. And I thought, I want to make one of those. And I had made business cards that I was handing out at festivals. And that wasn't working. Nobody was contacting me for anything. And then I decided to write a little book. A bunch of phrases. But I don't know what inspired me. It was just that festival. But I did it real quick. I wrote them all down real quick. And I made this little book 10 years ago. It's called Art Magic by Michael V. And you can't find it on any shelf in any store anywhere. I made a couple thousand copies, and I gave them away at music festivals instead of business cards. It has all my info on the back, and it's just full of little tidbits of things, just little nuggets. Listen to this. The intention behind the creation of it that drives its spell. Wait, it's a little blurry. Sorry. The intentions behind the creation of it that drive its spell. Does that make any sense? I think I picked the one thing that doesn't make any sense. The intentions behind the creation of it that drive its spell. I probably could have wrote that a little different. It's been a while since I read this. I picked it up the other day and I was like, what the hell? I wrote oh yeah. Not all of it's that bad. Hold on, here's another one. Creativity is our birthright. As artists, we have a key to existence. That one was a little better. What we create guides others to awareness. That's a good one. Everything is possible in art. Yes. To be an artist is to be a magician of illusion. Creating the illusion of reality. Understanding that reality is illusion. You can begin to rebuild it. And so I made a bunch of these, and there's all kinds of little manifestation art tips and stuff. Like there's all kinds of weird cool shit. And I lived this book, and all kinds of cool stuff happened and came true. And you can find it on my website, michaelv.com. michaelv.com. And you could download and print it yourself, make it into a little book. I even show how to like fold it and put staples in it. Somewhere there's a video. But I forgot about it, so I thought I'd tell you guys. And it kind of goes along with like after I wrote this book, I started being more of a character at festivals. I started like waving my arms around and talking to people, heckling them, and just trying to get people to paint with me. I'd be like, come over here and fuck up my painting, I would be there talking to them. You know how there's that psychological thing you can do when you're having a conversation with someone and you hand them something and they'll take it. Like it doesn't matter what it is. If you're having a conversation and looking at them, you could hand them something and they'll take it. And so I would hand them a paintbrush with paint on it and be like, and then da 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 da, and I'd hand it and they're like, what? Huh? What do you want me to do with this? Paint, come on. And that would like engage people, but you had to be like passionate and interesting and like wear a bunch of robes and crazy hair and stuff, whatever. I had this visor on, you gotta be like a character. Like even if you're wearing a robe and you're all calm and like I've met those artists. I've met those artists that are just all dreadlocks and scarves and tattoos, and they're just like very and they look at their painting. And no one ever walks up to them. They're super intimidating. You have to be like Renaissance fair. You gotta be like, hey, what are you doing over there? And talking a crazy accent and make yourself memorable. Like it fits the scene, right? It's a festival, so you gotta like get in the character. That's what everybody's trying to do. Anyways, it just depends on the people you're trying to like attract to you. You got to be a character for them to like engage. And the same thing applies with live streams. If you want people to engage you, you have to give them a reason to engage you. That's it. If you're just calm and peaceful and chill and leave it up to them to talk about stuff, you're never going to talk about the things you want to talk about. So you got to like say the thing you want to talk about. Every single time I start raging and like, why are people so boring? Like then I have to like pull it out of people, I have to like bitch and moan, and then people are like, oh yeah, I have more to say, like don't let it be so robotic when you interact with people. Don't be like, hi, how you doing? Have a nice day. Da, 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 da. Same old shit, like let it be a little bit more of substance. Like what's happening in your neighborhood, like what did you learn this week? Like just something more. Doesn't have to be good morning, the same thing every single day. Like you can make life interesting, and that is how we interact. Can be more interesting. Come up with a list of questions you just got handy and ready to go. You could find more out about people around you, Share more things alike and get to know your dislikes and the differences are what makes us so great. Our differences, right? We don't all have to believe the same thing. Shit. Well, that's how we become inspired, because other people inspire us because they believe different things, and we're like, oh, I didn't realize you could believe that. And, it's just, yeah, enjoy life. Sometimes you just need to shut up and like get back outside and into the nature. Turn off your phone, get out there and do something else. If you're doom scrolling all morning and you're like, I can't stop. There's too much to look at. And you're like, what am I doing with my time? You could be making art. You could be dancing. You could be raking. You could be weeding and planting and thinking about your health. You could do a breathing technique. You could just like practice meditation. You can get good at something. Some of the bad things you do. You can get better at some of the bad things that, like just get to know people, work on your conversation skills. Or like get quiet and still, go inside. It's just like this whole being of substance, passionate about something. I mean, you could just be observant and like mellow and just let it all roll off. a choice. You could just be you know. If you're trying to be, I guess, in the public and like push your art, it's good to be a character, I guess. If you're trying to be on screen, I mean, it's nice to be observant, right? You can just like kick back and, oh, that's funny. Maybe I'll interact. But not everybody's part of the show. I don't know. I don't know if I'm part of the show. I just know that in order to be seen, you gotta like make a fool of yourself. It's fucking weird. I don't know what that's about. Maybe some of you can tell me why that is true. Why do fools all get all the attention, you know? What do I have to paint my face orange? Like, it's weird. It's a weird world, right? Like, you never see like the gurus and monks or like shamans or like peaceful, calm people on the news. Or like on TV shows. There's no real portrayals of like that. I mean, there's a couple people online streaming. They're all mellow and calm. Let me play my singing bowl, wave my hands around. You know, it's like everything's chill. Some days I'm like that. But, you know, I'm ready for everyone to get off their ass and enjoy life. You know, you could change the world, but just enjoy your life, and that will probably change the world. Just enjoy it and care about people around you. I don't know. Just try it. It's just an idea, just a suggestion. So channeling, right? How do you fucking channel? And what are you opening up to? Aliens? Are you basharing it? Is that a verb? I got all bashared today, man. Good morning, how you doing? Like, you know, like, what are you tapping into? The only time I really feel like I'm channeling is when I let go in a painting, or when I'm playing guitar and I'm like playing something that I'm not thinking about. It's effortless. I'm just doing it like I've practiced so much that I could just play something and not be thinking about it too much. Or like when I'm painting and I'm not really focused on, you know, getting it perfect or trying to do something. I'm just painting. I'm just like the background or something, you know, just putting a wash of color. There's no real like it's a hyper focus, but it's a letting go at the same time. So you're just like zoning out, you know. That's when I feel like that happens. It just channels. It just comes through. I don't know what I'm tuned into, you know. Like a lot of times it's the music directing me, or the intention behind the painting, or the song. There's a certain vibe, and you're just kind of like playing along, and then you just sing the words, and you're not thinking about how you're supposed to do it. That's why, like, there's a beginner's luck. I feel like there's beginner's luck in art and music, because you're not like holding on to like all that judgment. You're not like judging everything you're doing. You can fall into that trap of like over judgment of your creation. So like when you just let go and just like do it for the moment, you know. Get in there and you're like, and then sometimes I ramble about, I pick a certain topic and I got enough caffeine in me, I can just verbal diarrhea about a subject for like a half hour. You're like 13 minutes. How about that? 13 minutes and 33 seconds. But you know, it's got to be something you're interested in. I couldn't sit here and talk about furniture or mini blinds or like I'm not passionate about that. I don't give a crap about where you get your ideas from and why you have to make meaning for everything and ponder why, or ponder why not, like, or ponder like, what if none of it is even real? If none of this is even like meaningful at all? It's just whatever I project onto it, you know. And the outside world is a reflection of my inside feelings and blah, 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 blah. You know, like it has to be something you're interested in. To get to ramble, and you have to like fill yourself with all that stuff. Like I've got Abraham and Bashar and Alan Watts back here and Terrence McKenna like saturated all in here, and I'm like plucking out little ideas I've remembered, and then, oh yeah, Duncan Trussell said that one thing, and then this other guy was talking about aliens and AI, and it's all like mixed and mashed up and squeezed, and it's saturating my brain. And then like sometimes I get to wipe it all clean and then start fresh. But yeah, you just tune into the words and blah 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 blah. So sometimes you can do that. If it's about something interesting, you can ramble all night about it, you know, about reprogramming the brain or psyops or whatever. Like, but if it's channeling, Like I was listening to some old videos of Bashar's, like old ones that you can't really find on the internet anymore. I actually downloaded them a long time ago, and I was like, wow, you can't find this one anywhere. And he's talking about these 7 laws of attraction and stuff like that. But the way he's saying it, the way he's like, the words are just rolling right off of his tongue. Like it feels like he's channeling. It feels like effortless. Like he's not thinking. It's just blah, 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 blah. So if you could tap into any information to ramble about, what would it be? Self-development, motivation to do art. Why would you do art? Why should you do art? To balance the energy of the world. I don't know. To find symmetry and beauty in everything. You gotta. That's a great thing about being an artist, is you get to see the beauty in everything. You get to find the uniqueness and the textures, and you become very observant. And you learn to channel it because you're always focused on that thing. And I think people channel like sports people, they just get into the mode, and they're practicing so much that they're already there, and they just miracles happen with their feet and their arms, and the balls just fly in the right spot. That sounded weird. Goal! Anyways, yeah, and you can make sense and ramble about something, and some people understand it, right? There's the verbal channeling, but then there's painting, there's creating with your hands, these 2 things that come out of your heart, these heart chakra limbs. You can make stuff, you can do things, you could go places, you could be passionate about it while you're doing it. But passion, I think, can come in many forms. And I think passion and channeling go hand in hand, because you have to be passionate about something to channel it, right? You can't just be like, oh, well, whatever, let me step out of the way so this thing can come through. And I see that's the case for some people, but there still has to be something that connects you to that energy. You got to be in a diet, or like some kind of specific summoning of something. You got to say something. There's something that tunes you into that. And not all channelers will tell you what that is. I feel like Bashar, he's like, and that breath, he's like, learn to just let go with that breath, and the thing, whatever that thing is, just plops down in him. And I think it's just like it's an act, because it has to be an act, but from practicing so much, it's taken on a life of its own, and he's literally channeling an alien, It's alien contact. It's interesting. But, the imagination is so powerful. We can believe anything. Everything we make up. Everything's a lie. It's the theory of everything. It's all made up just to feed our faces. So what fuels it? What fuels the channeling? What fuels the passion? Coffee. No. Tea? Caffeine? Good food, exercise, meditation, breathing techniques. There's usually a ritual in there somewhere. You gotta sleep, you gotta meditate, and then go do the thing. Like, you have to set yourself up for the channel. And why channel, right? Maybe to tap into the source of an idea. You have a specific idea, you just want to channel it and get in there. Maybe you're trying to tap into something that happened in the past, or something that happens in the future that's affecting your now, whatever. You could be getting prepared for something that's about to happen. Like, reverse engineer your life from the present moment. Everything you are now has a lot to do with your future self as well as your past self. So, like, why are you the way you are? Maybe there's something coming, You're expecting something to happen. Get to know the energies of your body. Turn off your phone. Is the message of today is turn off your phone for a few hours. Like, hit that button. Look at there's magic. Hit that button and hold it down until it goes off, until this thing comes up, and then you hit power off right there. Power off. And it goes off. You can't get alerts, can't get messages, oh wait, I didn't do it. Still there. Anyways, like, turn it off. Go outside. Forget about your phone for a little bit, right? Just forget about it. Whatever. I'll get to it. They'll still be there. Those videos will still be there waiting for you. Just chill. Enjoy your life. Or make a video and post it and tell people to shut off their phones. Cheers. So there's my distraction for today. It wasn't the weather. It wasn't new music. It wasn't anything to do with anything in the news, which is super saturated. The news has become quite entertaining, I'd have to say. As much as I want to stay away from it, I haven't looked at it today. I try to get into the habit of not looking at the internet until like afternoon, because if you ruin the first half of your day by looking at your screen, did I say ruin? If you disrupt your vibration first thing in the morning like that, it tends to set you up for, other things, unless you're like just going outside and you're like, that's it. Maybe listen to a podcast, some music. I don't know. But like try not to look at the doom scroll feed, whatever that's there. The feed. Don't go to the feeds, guys. If there's something you want to see, go specifically look it up. Maybe. But then, try to get to a point in each day where you turn your phone off. And then don't turn it back on until you need it, right? Until there's like a reason. You got to message somebody. You got to do something, Maybe just cut it down to that. Like still use your stuff, but try to just let it be for like communication, not for entertainment, not for just see what's going on here. And I'm talking to myself right now. This is like a note to self. Stop doing that. Because, man, it just ruins the vibe. Can't create like that, I don't need to be thinking about this kind of stuff sometimes. If anything, choose the vibe, like choose where you're going to go. Like listen to a certain thing or some kind of motivation or something. Distract yourself in a good way. Go out to the art shed and unplug. Read a book. Plug into a book. Make something. This guy over here is making something right behind me. You hear him sawing away out there. Anyways, have a good day. I'm going to cut this one down to 23 minutes here or something. Have a good day. Go outside. Do some stuff. Play guitar. Learn piano. I'm trying. This is what I'm doing today. I'm going to learn piano more and play with the kids. Like, they love that piano. Anyways, have a good day. I already said that. Have 5 good days. Have a good month. It's Leo season. Hello, Leos. Happy birthday. Enjoy the day. And enjoy life. Later.